Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Welcome back to Beat of the Soul. If you are not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. And if you like the video, please make sure you like, comment and share. And as I said, do not forget to subscribe. With this video, I do encourage you to listen to it from start to finish because I feel like I'm going to give a very balanced perspective and overview. So make sure you listen to the whole story time. So I was just scrolling on Twitter as you do, and then came across a post from Tems announcing her single release party for her track Me and You. And obviously it's Tems. I love me some Tems, and I'm so glad I finally got to see her last year. If you follow me on Instagram, then you would have seen it on my 2022 concert highlights, but I haven't done a video of it on YouTube yet, which I need to. But I just love Tems so much. I think she's so talented, beautiful, smart, a multifaceted babe. If Tems or anyone in her team happens to come across this video, girl, please can you bring back your podcast? Her Leading Vibe radio podcast was so good. If you know, you know. Anyway, when I saw her post that on Twitter, I was like, I have to be there. I want to go. So I signed up and I shared it on my Instagram. If you're not following Beat of the Soul on Instagram, make sure you do, because I'm always sharing events and concerts and things like that. All things music, I'm sharing. I shared the opportunity with my work friend Saskia as well, because I know she loves her some Tems, and she was one of the people who I went with to her concert last year. So I was like, I know she would love this. Hey guys, it's editing Sabri here. I was just about to edit the next part, and then I realized, hold on, where's this and that and that. So if my voice sounds different in certain parts throughout this video, it's because I've had to record certain things again. So my morning was made as I woke up, and the text that I saw was a text saying that I had been selected to attend the listening party. So my morning was made. I was so happy. And then I looked at my messages and I saw that Saskia had received a ticket as well, which made her evening. And then I saw that my friend's girlfriend and my friend got selected as well. So I was like, oh my gosh, look at all these people I know that have been selected. It's going to be a vibe. And I signed up on my work phone and my personal phone and got selected on both. So I was gassed, and it meant that, okay, so I've got like a spare ticket to give to someone else. So my friend asked if her girlfriend's brother could have it. So I put his name down. So the text said that you had to respond with your full name so that you'd get added to the guest list. And then you had to reply venue, so you get the venue details. So I replied my name, and then I must have come back into the text and realized, oh crap, I didn't actually reply venue. So I replied venue, but still didn't hear anything about the venue. And then I looked on Twitter and people were saying the same thing. So people who had got the text from last night were saying they hadn't got the venue yet. And the same thing in the morning, people were still saying they hadn't got the venue. I tried sending venue again. I even tried calling the number. I don't even know why I did that, because who was really going to pick up the phone? But yeah, it was just some automated voice. So I think the venue was announced around 11:30 a.m. And as soon as I saw the venue name, I was like, oh my gosh, I know this venue. I've worked with this venue on my 9 to 5. How cool. You know, things are looking aligned. So then now that I had all the details and everything, I just planned my work day around the event. So when we arrived, we joined what we thought was the back of the queue. And then one of the security guards came and told us that we're going to be at the front. And I was so confused, because it's like, well, I can't do that. That's not morally right, because there are people in front of us. So yeah, it was just really confusing where to go, because he told us we're going to be at the front, but then we thought we were at the back. It was just really confusing where to actually queue. So in hindsight, I'm thinking, why did we stay there? Why did we stay in that position? But then someone came and told us, they were like, guys, you need to go to the other side, because these people are in front of you, kind of thing. So then we had to go join the back of the queue, which was a bit longer, but we still thought, we can still get in, because there's actually not that many people in front of us. And this area is really interesting that Whereas London is in. It's a very vibrant area. There's a lot of graffiti and artwork, and this was the first time me being there, because this was my second time there. Yeah, so this was the first time me being there and actually seeing people create art. So that was really cool to see. Yeah, in hindsight, I really just wish when he told us, oh, you lot are gonna be at the front, we should have gone to that, find where we actually need to be for the queue. And I feel like we would have been much more ahead in the queue than we were when we were told that we were in the wrong place. So we were waiting for quite a while. My friends came like a bit after us, and then some other people that I knew. Shout out to Courtney and her brother. Courtney is so supportive of my platform. She always gasses me. I love Courtney. So yeah, they came, and it was really nice to see everyone and like catch up and talk and stuff. But the event was supposed to start at 6:30, and we were still queuing at around 7:40. So as we're queuing, I'm seeing kind of like a little commotion, like looks like a staff member is speaking to the crowd, and it doesn't look positive. So I go closer so I can hear what's going on and ask people in the queue, like, what did he say? And people are saying that it's reached capacity, and basically from where they were behind, we're not getting in because it's at capacity. And I was like, this cannot be happening right now. We came here kind of early, like we were in a good position in the queue. How is it that we haven't been able to get in? Like, how many people did they actually let in? So obviously people were not happy. People were pissed off. The line was long, going all through that tunnel. And if you know that area, you know it's quite a long tunnel. And I didn't even know how far the queue went back, but I know it was far. Like, it was a long queue. So the fact that they're now telling us that we didn't even get in, and the fact that we're not even far back in the queue like that, was just madness. So the crowd the line kind of dispersed, and it was like a crowd just going closer to the venue to see what's going on and complaining to the organizers and things like that. People were just not happy. People were going back and forth. Fans were angry, and you've got the staff like giving the same energy back, which I can understand, because sometimes it can be hard to keep calm when people are talking to you crazy, but at the same time you do have to try and keep as calm as you can. But yeah, the back and forth was just adding more fuel to the fire. And there was even a photographer trying to take, or videographer, I can't remember what type he was, but he was trying to take content of the crowd, because you know when you try and make it look like oh, like look how many people are here, and like you're obviously trying to make it look like it's a buzzing type of thing, and then people are like shouting at him because it's like, well, you're not going to take content of us to try and make it look like everyone is happy and this is a joyous thing when we're all standing outside because we can't get in. So then he had to quickly stop creating content, stop capturing content, and he was told like, yeah, just don't capture content. But I don't think he actually understood or knew what was going on, so not going to hold that against him. So then, as I said before, I know the venue owner. I've worked with them before in my 9-to-5 work. So I was like, let me call the owner, tell her what's going on. I was warning them. I was like, there's a very angry crowd. I'm just warning you. Like, is there any way you can get us in? It's all about who you know in this life. I'm trying to utilize my connections. But she was like, no, there's nothing we can do because it's not our event, it's Sony's event. And I'm like, oh, this is like all to do with Sony. I was like, oh, but are your team working there? She's like, yeah, our team are like working the event. Like, we have our team working the event, but this is Sony's event. And I was like, okay. And yeah, just like saying, I hope she's well and stuff, but just warning her, you've got a very angry crowd. Yeah, at least I tried, but there was nothing she could do to help us get in. And then we were speaking to, I don't know her name, but she is like PR. And she was like extremely calm, and she was trying to do like good service recovery, trying to see if she could get us like some goodie bags. But she went in and checked for us, and then we always thought, oh, is she coming back? But she came back, but there weren't any. She said there was no more, but that was kind of her to do that. And I asked if she could like show us what it looks like inside, so at least I could try and live vicariously through her. So I did that, and it looks like a really cool experience. And this was obviously on the night. So I know now there's obviously loads of TikToks, people have done their content. So yeah, it was good to see it from her perspective. This really immersive experience. And I've been to Auras once before for an immersive experience. So I know the kind of services that they offer and the kind of experience you can have. So I think it was a cool venue for them to pick. So those I was with decided to go home, understandably so, but I wanted to stay because I'm a very observant and curious person, and because I knew I was going to do this video, I wanted to stay and get as much of a full picture as I can of the situation, so that I can really understand and give like an accurate and well-rounded video and review. And then I also wanted to exhaust all options, because I didn't just want to go home, and then that's, by me going home, that's guaranteeing that I'm definitely not going to experience anything that this single release party has to offer. But if I stay now, you never know what could happen. So I was like, let me just stay. I was thinking maybe there might not be many of us fans left at a certain point, and then they can let the rest of us in. Wishful thinking, eh? I just love people watching. I find it so interesting. I was seeing tactics that people were using to try and get in, seeing some tactics work, some tactics not work. I'm not going to share what those tactics are, because I'm not trying to reveal anyone's game. It's one of those if you know situations. And it's interesting to see the whole lesson and quote of it's all about who you know, your network is your net worth. It's interesting to see that all in real life like play out, and how people are able to, you know, just the power of being on the guest list or knowing someone on the guest list. I'm seeing people bring in +3s, people bringing in +1s, people bringing whole groups in. It's just very interesting to witness. And then I'm thinking, okay, so this is more of an industry event, and barely any fans were able to get in. Like, I understand why we weren't able to get in now, because I'm waiting here hours later and I'm still seeing people get in. So it's not necessarily a capacity issue. It's the fact that there's more industry people getting in compared to fans. I saw familiar faces, from Remy Bergs to Dami to Julia Nuga, Zizi Mills. I saw industry professionals that I've seen at free networking and panel events, and just free events that I've been to, all about the creative industries, or in this case like the music industry. So it's cool to see people like Lisa Marie, Gracie May, Nakai, etc. I saw Muyiwa, which is Tems' manager. I believe I saw P2J as well. And I think that's it from the people that I recognize. There may have been some people that I've forgotten, but I think that's it. So it's interesting. It was cool to like see them. And even though I've spoken to some of them like in person or via DM before, I didn't know any of them well enough to be like, oh, can you try and get me in? Like, yeah, I don't know you like that to be asking them kind of questions. So I was like, let me just observe. But then it's obviously interesting to see people who do know people like that can get in. And the whole vibe, it just felt like, because there was still like quite a few of us fans just observing and standing out there. So it just kind of felt like, you know, when Chris Brown is like, I don't see how you can hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in. Like, it literally felt like that. Probably look like such begs, such like peasants just standing outside when there's really no hope that we're getting in. It's kind of like the staff, the organizers were probably thinking, why are these people waiting here? Like, you are not getting in, just go home. You're literally wasting your time and energy from just standing outside. But like Rosa Parks, I was not moving. Sorry, just adding to this, as I forgot to say something. I just remembered this as well. I think Trevor was there as well. So yeah, a lot of familiar faces from the industry that I recognize, and then there must have been a lot of people there that I didn't know as well. So next to the venue, there's this kind of alleyway, and as we were came before, you could see the alleyway anyway, and you can kind of see these stalls set up, or these tents, and I know that's where the food was. And then people were hanging out there as well that got into the listening party. So it's kind of like, if you were in the immersive experience inside the venue but you wanted to like come out, you could come out that way. So because we had been waiting a while, there was still like quite a few fans outside, but nowhere near as much compared to the beginning. So me and like a person I was with that was in front of us in the queue, we were like, should we just try and like go through the alleyway? We've got nothing to lose. The worst that can happen is security tell us to move from there. As I'm getting closer and closer, I can see like a little commotion going, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? And then as I can see more and more, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Tems. Like, what? It's Tems. And she looked incredible. Absolutely incredible. And people are taking pictures of her. People are taking pictures with her. And I'm like, yes, this is my chance. Like, I can actually get a picture with her. So yeah, everyone was taking pictures with her one-on-one, speaking with her briefly one-on-one. And then, guys, I met Tems. I actually got 2 pictures with her. And I was like to her, I'm a Gemini too. And she was like, oh, I feel you, girl. Yeah, she was just so beautiful, so gracious, like the patience and kindness that she had to really take the time to take pictures or videos with everyone and talk to people. Yeah, I really respect her for that, because it must feel quite overwhelming when you have a crowd of people like trying to get to you, take pictures of you, like trying to be all up in your space like that. But I feel like she handled it very, very well. A true professional. So I was like, oh my gosh, another lesson learned. Patience is a virtue. If I went home now, look what would have happened. I wouldn't have met Tems. I didn't even think that was going to happen for me. But it was just a really good lesson in patience as a virtue and exploring your curiosity. Because if I didn't think to walk down the alleyway, I definitely wouldn't have met her, because there was no way she would have come out on that outside strip, because it would have caused way too much of a commotion. So yeah, that was such an amazing experience, and I was just so grateful that I actually met her. And it just made not getting into the actual party, I didn't even care about that now. I was like, I'm at Thames, like that's the prize. And then I was just waiting back. I was thinking, oh, should I try and get in? I was like, nah, it's not really worth it, because if everyone thinks, oh, should I try and get in? Oh, should I try and get in? And then they get in. That's how dangerous situations could occur. So I'm glad I actually didn't try and get in the end. And I just stayed in that alleyway bit and met Thames. Like, I feel like the universe came through for me in some way. So thank you, universe. Thank you, music gods. Thank you, God. Thank you, ancestors. Appreciate you. So then after that, I was like, yeah, I could go home now. I won. I didn't get in, but I met the woman herself. What a night. And I was low-key like shaking. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. And I feel like I'm one step to interview it. I'm one step closer to interviewing Tems now. That is my dream. I would love to just have a conversation and interview with her. I feel like Gemini to Gemini, we would have a great conversation. Music lover to music lover, we would have a great conversation. Multifaceted babe to multifaceted babe, we would have a great conversation. So I'm manifesting that will happen one day. So I want to talk about what went wrong and what could have been better. So in terms of what went wrong, putting the industry, media, press, friends and family of the artist or the label or the team or whatever, putting the industry together and all those people and fans together is a bad combo when the split isn't 50-50. I feel like in these kind of contexts where it's these like small exclusive events, the industry trumps the fans. The industry are priority over the fans, and I don't think that's good. When you do that, the fans are almost seen as like peasants and trash, and you don't feel valued, you don't feel appreciated as a fan. And I feel like that was the first error. I feel like they should have done two separate events, one for industry and one for fans. Because obviously I'm not against industry, media, friends and family being able to attend things like that. They should be able to. The industry worked very, very hard for these artists, and I think the average consumer doesn't understand or doesn't appreciate or doesn't even see the work that these people put in. So I'm not against them being there, but don't have the ratio so mad where so many industry people and so many friends and family of the artists are able to get in, but barely any fans are. I feel like that was a very poor choice. And obviously I understand the need for friends and family to be there, because they're like the artist support system. They're the people that keep the artists grounded, and they're the people that make the artists who they are as well in other ways. So I understand the need for all those people to be there. So that's my first thing. And then another point I had was, were too many people invited, or did people share the address? I obviously wasn't working the event, so I don't know how many people received that text. But the capacity of Ores London, I believe, is 300 standing. So I feel like if more than 300 fans were sent the text, I don't think that's a good idea. Because especially if so many industry and friends and family were able to get in, you shouldn't really be sending 300 fans that text, or even more than 300. I'd say maybe 300 is the max you should send. And then I don't think you should go over that. But I don't know how many people received the text, or I don't know if people received the text were sharing the location. If it's the latter and people were sharing the location, then I think that's wrong. Like, you just made the situation worse. And if it's a case where they invited so many people, I think that's a poor choice. Because I don't think it's one of those things where it's like, you're organizing, I don't know, a panel talk or a networking talk, so you oversubscribe because you don't know who's going to come. Like, it's Tems. People are going to show up and show out. But obviously the team did their due diligence. Well, I can't even speak. The team did their due diligence by sending a text later on that day, or I think it was on that day, that the event is oversubscribed, so you need to get there early. So they covered their backs, because technically they did say entry is not guaranteed. You need to get there at a good enough time. So I understand the need to send out those kind of texts, but there's no need to send it to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people if the capacity is really 300. Some people were complaining about the venue size as well. So some people might see that as a point where they went wrong, but I don't think the venue size is an issue, because if we got in now, we would have been like, wow, this is so cool. Like, this is so intimate. Like, I love that it was a small venue, but it's only an issue when you can't get in. And it goes back to that Chris Brown bar. I don't see how you can hate from outside of the club. You can't even get in. Yeah, I understand the need for like intimate events, because it's like that whole exclusivity kind of feeling. And it's nice to feel like you're having an intimate experience with an artist, because things like that are very rare. So I personally don't think the venue size was the issue. I think the issue was mixing industry, friends and family of the artist, or friends and family of whoever, and the fans, and having such a huge difference in the ratio. That was the issue for me. And also, I'm going to take some accountability as well. I wish I got there earlier. I feel like if I got there earlier, maybe I would have been able to get in. And I wish that when there was kind of confusion with the queue, I wish I actually asked the people in front of us, oh, have you guys been here from the beginning? Are you guys in the front? Do you know where we need to go? Like, is this the back or something? I wish I'd done that. Like, in hindsight, when I'm recording this, I'm like, why didn't I do that? Like, I don't know what was going on in our heads. I can't even remember like what was going on. Was there a reason why we stayed? I don't know. But yeah, so I feel like I'm taking accountability on my side. But my huge pet peeve, as I keep on saying, was this whole the industry versus the fans. Because have you noticed, if this was a concert now, have you noticed that in concerts, obviously fans are the people that are dominating? The ratio is flipped in a concert context. And you know why that is? Because it's a business and fans are paying money for the concert. So it would never be the case where hella industry and hella family and hella friends are at the event, because that's going to affect the bottom line. So it's interesting how in a concert context, there's like, because I've been to concerts where I'm sitting or standing on like the first level or the second level, and you can see how there's like certain seats reserved, but it's barely any compared to how many fans are there. And the reason that they do that is because you better pay for your damn ticket. We can only reserve a few. So in a concert context, fans are seen as above the industry and fans are prioritized. But in these kind of contexts, they're not. So that's why it kind of like feels like a slap in the face even more when these kind of situations happen, because it's like, oh, when it comes to monetary things, like when you want to profit off of us, then we're kind of prioritized. But then in other situations where it's these free exclusive events, fans are treated like trash. But I remember seeing Tems on her Twitter say that she was going to be doing more events, and then there's more to come. So it'd be interesting to see what that's all about. And I also feel bad for Tems as well, because people are coming at her, and it's obviously sad that when stuff like this happens, it's the artist that gets the blame, because everything is under their name. So I hope like she's okay and everything. And I obviously know, and I think other people obviously know, that it's not her fault.
I didn't know that they would share the address, and there'll be lots of people here. I didn't expect this. I just want to thank you for waiting for me, and you know, this is not my vibe usually. I just want to tell you that you deserve better experience than this, and I just want to, I'm so grateful for your support. I'm so grateful. It's been amazing. And to the team, to just thank you. Give it up for yourself. Thank you so much. I have so much in store for you. And there's new music overflowing after this. Okay? Thank you so much. have a great rest of your night. Continue to enjoy. There's drinks at the bar. It's all free. Just enjoy yourself tonight, okay? I love you. Thank you so much.
If you haven't listened to Me and You by Tems, you need to. And if you haven't watched the video, you need to. I love the artwork that they had at Outside Auras as well. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Just come to my head. I didn't have this in my notes. But when we were queuing, this is how I can actually prove that we got there kind of in good time, or early, quote unquote early, because when we got there they still hadn't put up her posters, and we were thinking, how shouldn't this have been done earlier on in the day? But yeah, they put up this beautiful artwork which reflected the scenes in the video. So you had little Tems and then you had older Tems, and I thought that artwork was very beautiful. But anyway, back to the song and how I feel about the song. I feel like the transition from younger Tems to older Tems was really nice. The beautiful visuals, the visuals were absolutely stunning. So shout out to the creative directors, people who came up with the concept, the videographers, just shout out the editors, shout out to everyone involved in that process of making the video. Absolutely beautiful. My favorite visuals was when Tems was dancing in the water. Just anytime she was in the water, it looked really good. Tems and water go together real bad. Loved when she was dancing in the circle. The way Tems just moves, like, she is sensational. It's like you're in a trance. She's very captivating. Like, you just can't take your eyes off of her. And I loved when she was drumming as well. I would love to hear her drum, because obviously in the video, like, the track was playing over the scenes when she's drumming. But I would love to hear what she sounds like on the drums, because it looked like she knows what she's doing. As I said, multifaceted babe. It's a Gemini thing. And then the actual track itself, I love the way the Amapiano type of drums come in at 1 minute 32 seconds. It's like my favorite part. And I don't have anything to fault about the song. I think it's a beautiful song. It's very catchy. I can't fault it. And I'm so excited to hear more music from Tems. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed my commentary. I hope I gave you a well-rounded and balanced opinion. I hope other artists or the industry is able to take heed when it comes to these types of events. If you're going to mix fans and non-fans, or fans and industry and family and friends together, please either keep the ratios balanced or do separate events, because it's not by force to mix the two together. And shout out to everyone who got in. Looks like you all had a great time. And to everyone who didn't get in, I hope that there's another event that you can go to. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you were there, let me know what your experience was. If you did get an invite but you decided not to go, let me know why. If you're just observing on social media, let me know your thoughts. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Take care. Bye.